My new favorite thing on the truck showing up. Look at that. It is a beautiful day at the Dirt Head Shed, and it is time to get the rest of this truck ready to go. I'm out here right now mounting wheels and tires, getting everything dialed in. Look at that. They look so dope. Yeah, we're just cruising. It's Saturday morning. I got one more tire to mount and should be moving on to another project. You might see it behind that plastic bag right there. I mixed it up a little bit and went with a 38 1350 Falken Wildpeak RT. The 37s were good, but they were a little bit narrow on this truck, and the size of them made this thing wound out like crazy on the highway. Hopefully the 38s helped that out. Look at that, all 5 mounted and balanced and all ready to rock. I'm gonna go over here and keep working on the spaghetti machine. I need to jack the back up and actually get to working on the rear suspension and slotting those holes on the bag mounts. Oh, this is going to be an absolute terrible job to do. And I'm sure I will find out why I've put it off for 3 years. It's going. It's going. We're gonna get this licked. Another beautiful day in the shed. Check this out. I got in here and was able to slot all these holes out and get those, I don't know if you can see that very well or not, but I slotted those holes about 1/4 of an inch out, and I put it on its weight and I put the bags in and all is good. So I'm gonna do a quick disassemble real quick, and we're just gonna paint a few things here and there and move on to the next thing. I think the real goal here would be to build a proper bump stop and have it land on the link, make a pad that goes on top of the link bracket here. That's what I should do and what I'll probably do in the future. Just because it gets so much up travel. It's like the tires are all over the fender, the bag is like maxed out, everything just gets like, I don't know. Basically what this truck could use is some bump stops and some limit straps, because it does have a little more travel than it really needs. Let's grab some Scotch-Brite and an air blower and some spray paint, and we'll go ahead and touch up those link bars and brackets and stuff. I've got to move on to what I'm really supposed to be working on this week, and that is, oh, this is what we'll use. Sorry, got sidetracked. I'm going, check this out. Check this out. Typically, I've been running this Van Sickle brand tractor paint, and it takes forever to dry, and it hasn't proven to be super great. So I'm gonna try the Seymour brand dark gray spray paint, and we'll see if I can get some luck out of that. We'll try something a little different. The color will probably be off a little bit, but by the time this thing has a coating of dust and dirt on it, it'll be totally fine. One of these days I want to build something that just stays nice. Seems like everything I have is in a constant state of repair. Alright, I think that's probably good on the spray paint. We'll throw the heat lamp on this thing for a second and start on the next project. Alright. Ah, it's all blown out. I opened the door and it's bright. I got the pinion angle rolled down a little bit. I had some driveline vibration at highway speeds, so I'm hoping that will sort of cure that. Jam nuts are tightened back up. Everything's looking good. The bags are in place. Shocks are back in it. It's time to slam the wheels on and the new tires. That's going to be rad. I got a little bit of production going on outside over here. A friend of mine just borrowing some space for a new car he bought. And yeah, it's a big day in the old dirt head shed. Things are looking sweet. I'm gonna let it rest there for a second. My buddy's gonna borrow the shop and then we'll get back into putting the front wheels on. And then the next big thing, I got rad seats for this. It's gonna be awesome. Go get them, Hazel. Look at that. I had a custom set of PRPs made about 6 months ago in this Serape pattern with brown vinyl on the outsides of it. And I wasn't sure what they were going in. I wasn't sure if they were going in that car or that truck. And I think I decided they're going in that one. So we're gonna spend the next like day and a half or whatever making seat mounts and brackets and stuff so that we can get these PRPs in the truck and this Tuffy center console. This thing should be awesome in there. There's always been like such a lack of space in the rig as far as like having spot for pretty much anything you take with you. So the first step on this process was obviously getting the bench seat out of the way. Now we just got to get all the things out of the rig that are always in here. I got my welding rod because I got the Premier Power Welder. So this thing's always got welding rod behind the seat. And it looks like it's still staying good. There's those earbuds that I lost like 6 months ago. I think these are going to be my new favorite thing on the truck. My new favorite thing on the truck showing up. Look at that. They look small in there, but they look way cooler than that blue vinyl bench seat did, that's for sure. PRPs, Serape, and I think this was actually coffee brown vinyl. Super cool. These actually have seat heaters, so this thing's going to be more comfortable when I'm out winter wheeling. This thing's getting pretty baller. All right, let me go grab the center console that I got for it, and we'll see if all three things fit in here at once. I got a big old honking Tuffy center console. This is like what you're used to seeing in Jeeps, but I got one for my Ford pickup. That way I've got somewhere to like store stuff. It's got all kinds of space in here, and then it also has a spot for like if you want to put your stereo in there so that it's like locked and secure. This is rad. I'm gonna jump in here. Let's see if it all fits. I know I'm gonna have to build like a full subframe structure for everything to mount to. I love it. It's so good. I feel so cool. I feel like I'm a cool teenager again, not like 40-year-old loser. All right, going through my tabs and stuff over here, and I actually have enough of these tabs. These are from Rough Stuff Specialties, and they're just a pre-made tab, but they're made to go on square tubing. So I also have about 30 feet of 1-inch square tube. So I think we're just gonna build a rectangle frame that will go and be the right size so that we can tab off of that and have the seats mounted to the frame. Get that sort of squared away, and then we'll figure out how to attach that frame down to the body. we're gonna start simple and just cut 2 pieces of this square tube at 51 inches. If I plug the machine in. There's one. There's the other one. All right, so this will be the front and the back of this rectangle tube. Let's figure out a rough estimate on how long the legs need to be, because it's going to be kind of critical to make everything really correct in size, because I want these holes to like line up perfect. I want to be able to like weld these things on and have it just dialed in without having to fight with it too much. I'm gonna go ahead and bolt these tabs to the seat so we can get a real measurement. I'm gonna give this a little tap down and this a little tap down. All right, that is cool. That gives us our measurement that we need. So let's go ahead and cut 2 more pieces of tubing, and then we can start welding together a big rectangle. Cool. All right, we got our 4 pieces rough cut. Now we gotta 45 these so that we can weld this thing up and have it be clean and not super hack looking. This table has a sheet metal brake bolted down, so I can't use like a very big portion of it, which is my bad for not planning this out better. Let's burn this thing together. Go get this side now. The seat frame, the start of it's all welded up now. I found the center line of it, and then I ran over to the car and I found the center line of the steering wheel and measured my offset over, so I know the center of the seat needs to sit right here. If I measure off of the tabs on the seat, then I'll know where the tabs need to be. I think they're about 7 inches because it's like a 14-inch spread on the seats. I think it's a standard like 14 wide and like 16 long or 18 long. So what I did was I went over and I drilled a piece of flat bar so that I can bolt some tabs to it, and that will give me the perfect spacing for these tabs to weld on. So let's start putting all this thing together. Let's see if we drop this on, if it just fits. It just fits. Ah, it's awesome. All right, the seat gets on there without any issues, so that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and weld these tabs out. As long as my spacing is correct for the center of the truck to the center of the steering wheel, we should be good there, and we have plenty of room to mount that center console, which is cool. So I'm gonna weld these up and then we'll go fit it in the truck. Please, oh geez. Please be good. I've got everything like propped up on 2x4s, and it's not working super hot. Just trying to get an idea of where this seat frame wants to live. That one's pretty close. That one looks good. The bracket has a seat on it. The seat is sort of bolted down loosely. It's got hardware crammed in it. Time to sit in here and see if where it's at right now is anywhere close. Let's see here. That feels good. It's all coming together. Let's figure out what the next step is. Check this out. I just made this little cardboard piece, and I'm trying to grab that hole that the old seat mount went into. So I made this little cardboard piece, and I was like, dang, that would work pretty good if I cut that out of a piece of square tubing. Like that. Look at that. That's gonna be our mount. And it's pretty sweet. Let's see if I got my hole drilled right. I did. I'm gonna go duplicate this bracket onto another piece of tubing so that I have one for the driver's side as well. And we'll come back, we'll tack these in, and then tackle the back mount. Once we lock this in with a couple of bolted in pieces, then it's all gonna should be quite a bit less guesswork at that point. Get that kind of there. This will kind of scoot forward. We're getting it. You get these rear brackets made. They're very similar to the front ones. So that is all in place and bolted down, and now we're messing with the center console. So here's the idea. Basically, I just wanted to bolt a piece of angle iron there so that I can drop this right there and weld it on. That'll get the front of this a little bit lower so that it actually sits a little more level in the vehicle. All right, half of it's mounted. Now we just got to do the back portion. I just got done doing the last of the little brackets and stuff. So the seat mount is all done and in place. I ended up doing the little square tube trick on the back ones here. These tabs that are going in to secure the console are also gonna act as the seatbelt mount. So I went ahead and tied that down with plate steel down to the floor, and that ties into the stock seatbelt mount there. So this whole thing is gonna be super solid when it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt it, pull it out of here, paint it, and we should be able to put this thing back together this evening. All right, got the seat frame in the paint booth here, priming it up real quick, and then we'll shoot it flat black. I just prepped it with brake clean. I don't normally do that, but I'm kind of in a hurry right now. It looks good though. It's gonna be awesome. Almost dry seat frame coming in. Come on. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these harder reach ones in first. Center console going in. I think this might be one of the coolest mods yet. See it coming in. Radical going in. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, sorry, camera and people. I'll come save you. Hello. First actual test fit with it bolted in. I love it. I love it. It's comfortable. It's not cramped feeling at all. It's way better than it was. Does the door shut? The door shuts. Can't beat that. All right, we've got a handful of things we got to finish up on this thing in order to be ready to leave for Moab. So let's get busy. First thing we're going to do today is going to be switching out the off-road lights that are on here. And we're going to swap in these Baja Designs LP6s. The old lights are off. I guess I can give you kind of a rundown on this front bumper. I get questions about it all the time. Basically, when I built the truck, I put a winch plate between the frame rails and sunk the winch down as low as I could, right? That's just like a Harbor Freight winch plate that's been notched and fitted and fits in there pretty good. And then I ran it with no bumper at all. I actually liked the way it looked, but then I was like, I should mix it up. So I took this stock 1980 Ford front bumper and I narrowed the ends like 1.5 inches just so they wouldn't stick past the fender. And I welded that with that Super Missile rod stainless. Then I was like, oh, I should do a cool like pre-runner style bumper on it. So I did. I actually also spaced the bumper out a little bit to give clearance for that winch. So this tube right here actually goes in all the way and attaches to the frame horn. And there's a bolt in there so that's there's a bolt inside of there. That's what attaches to the frame horn. Then I just did this simple like bent tube deal and TIG welded it in. And this was just sort of a throwback to some like 80s, 90s, super simple pre-runner light bar bumpers. So that's what's going on. It's just mild steel. All right, I'm going through the wiring on all this stuff, and it's pretty wild. There's actually four wires to these lights. So you have a high beam, a low beam, an amber, basically halo light or an amber backlight, and then it'll have a ground. So the wiring that I have in the truck already is just an on-off switch, so we might end up just going with like, maybe we'll figure it out, go with low beam or high beam only. Well, things just went a little sideways. I ran over to my buddy's house to pick up my trailer so that I could tow Mom's Spaghetti to Moab, but totally roached wheel bearing hub. Wheel itself like overheated and it like burned the paint off the whole wheel. So trailer's staying here. We're driving Mom's Spaghetti to Moab. I got one more light to mount, and we will probably just throw a bunch of junk in the truck and hit the road here in the next couple hours. Come on, truck, do your thing. How's that look? Are all three of them on? These are on low. These are on the low setting. It only is used, you can't even see it. It's using like the 2 lower LEDs on each one, and then it's using the little side ones. I think that's gonna be plenty bright for rock crawling. Awesome, super cool. All right, let me shut that off and clean up the wiring, and then we're just about out of here. Oh, look at this. Look how cool this truck is. All right, let's drop this. I'll torque them, and I will check pressure, and then I think we're gonna peel out. Sweet. Well, there it is, all buttoned up. New lights on it, new wheels and tires, looking good. This is so rad. Seats and belts and steering wheel and all that. Thanks for watching this Dirthead Shed. I'm gonna hit the road and go to Moab. Keep keep following along. I will be posting as I'm in Moab. I've also got another video to do of the drive there and a couple of trails, so should be pretty awesome. If you're in Moab this week or for Jeep Safari, make sure you swing by that Best Top party Monday the 25th. It's in the parking lot behind where all the food trucks are at downtown. We'll see you guys there.